guys, it's Nancy here and I'm back with another process video, and again this is one for my Hey Little Magpie blog post. My video hadn't started recording. I thought I'd pressed record and I hadn't, so I'd already cut out that background paper. And I'm going to be scrapping this photo, this selfie, again using bits from the Wanderlust collection from Heidi Swap. And I've got that large shipping tag which I really love. And so I'm going to be using that, and I've got a few bits that I've already used and sort of cut apart and stuff, so I'm just going to be playing around with it, and I'm actually going to end up changing the orientation of this layout. But yeah, so I'm going to just kind of do a little bit of fiddling here, but with this layout I'm going to have a 6x12 page of journaling, because this is kind of summarising what's happened over the last few weeks and how crappy things have been and kind of my feelings about stuff. So I wanted to put that somewhere. So I thought I might as well just, put a selfie down. We all know I love a selfie. And to then have a page of journaling to do it. So this page is decorational and there is no place for journaling on here. And that'll go on another page. So I chose that beautiful bright pattern, that kind of eye-cap quilty sort of pattern. Really love it, and that's going to make a great bold background. And again, I've mounted my photo in the same as what I'm mounting the whole layout on. And yeah, I just love how that looks. I'm going to be still trying to get those stupid triangles on there. And if you've been watching some of my videos, you know that I've pulled this die cut out several times. I don't want it to become like that dreaded acetate piece. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you'll know the piece that I'm talking about, that just kind of kept mocking me. And eventually I did get on a layout. And this is one of those pieces that has been mocking me slightly. So I was determined to try and get it on this page somehow, and I did actually get it on here, so that's a positive. On this layout, because it was kind of decorative, not really telling a story on this part, I decided to just try and use up lots of random die cuts. I think you would all agree that we get die cut packs and we don't really know what to do with some of the die cuts in them. Just all a little bit random, so I picked out a whole lot of these and decided to try and get them using up, including those that vellum feather, which I pulled out a couple of times as well. So I'm just going through my little pots here that I keep my die cuts in, just seeing how I can get any of those to work or not. And I apologise, it looks like, if you can see like my legs, it looks like I'm kind of naked. I'm not, I have shorts on and you can see my tattoos. That's why it looks a little bit dodgy. But I promise I'm not naked. I have shorts on. Anyway, random. I can see it while watching the video, so I'm thinking, you must be looking at my legs, which is a little bit weird. So I do apologise that you can see my legs. I probably should pay attention to where my camera's pointing. So yeah, I'm now just going to play about. I pulled out that Smile vellum piece as well. Not vellum, acetate piece that I'm going to use. And I'm now just going to ink everything up. So I'm just going to be using some black ink, because again there's black on those die cuts that I want to use. So I'm just going to ink everything up. I'm sorry, I could have cut this out, I do apologise. And it's really annoying because now I can just see my leg and that's all I'm looking at in the video. Really should have edited that out, I'm so sorry people. So yeah, just inking everything up and then I'll start sticking it down. I'm not sure if I do any background design on here. I don't think I do. Maybe do a few splatters, I think. So I'm now just going to start sticking it all together. I've double matted my photo, which I do like doing. It just makes it look nice, really. And at the end of the day, you do kind of want your photos to be, the point of your layout. So I'm now just trying to work out how I had it all down before, which is always the most annoying part when you don't glue down as you go. And so I'm just going to add some mist over here. I've got the gold foiling on that tag. So again, just adding some more gold in there. And there's some gold glitter in those vellum pieces from the Journey collection as well. I'm going to pull out the dark pink. No, it's the purple actually, I think I use. Pull out one of the darker colours from the dilutions. Oh, that's the blue. There you go, I'm showing it to you. So I'm going to be using that. and then a little bit of the fuchsia. And it doesn't show too much on camera, but you can see it in real life, and it just adds a little bit of interest. So I'm just going to cut the camera while I dried that. Now I'm going to start building my cluster and deciding if I want it to go jaunty angle or non-jaunty angle. Sometimes we have these debates with ourselves. The tag is on a little bit of a jaunty angle, so it's trying to keep everything a bit jaunty but not too jaunty, if that makes sense. So I'm now going to stick down the tag. Again, that ombre tag came from that Wanderlust little zipper pouch. So I'm just sticking that down. Again, the colours all working so beautiful in this collection. They're really nice saturated colours. This is just a frame from the Craft Market chipboard. Forgot what it was called then. Chipboard sheet. And that's one that Emma sent me. I've just used a little bit. And that's got, again, a little bit of gold on. That was kind of this frame in between two frames. So I don't know if it was meant to be used or not, but it kind of worked quite well. I did try to use the other half, but I didn't have anywhere I could tuck it. So I have got this other little slide frame that I was going to try and use as well, but I end up going again with one of the smaller pieces. Again, I like to, if I have one bit of chipboard on one part of the layout, to put it in somewhere else, because it just balances things out then. So I'm just going to have to take some 3D foam to put behind that die cut, just so it, you know, can sit above that chipboard. And that one says "Follow Your Dream Avenue," I believe. And then this is another one, which again I think is also from the Journey collection. I think, I'm not quite sure. I'm just playing around with one of those Teresa Collins labels. They're just sticking it in between so there's not a really weird gap. And that says "My Journey," I believe. Once again, just playing about where I want to put these different labels. I kind of like to just balance things across the layout really. So I've got these bits that I'm trying to put in, and I'm going to end up trying to put this bit over two parts of the layout, which I think ends up working quite well really. So I'm just tucking it there behind that little chipboard piece, and then I'm just using my ATG to stick down that vellum. It kind of looks okay, I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to just use a little bit of my quickie glue pen just to stick that down as well. And as I said, I found that in a recent recent sort of sort out on my desk. Then there's this big paintbrush, and it kind of works kind of almost like, you know, painting a new fresh start, all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of going to be talking about kind of that kind of thing in my journaling. So I thought, okay, that'll go on there. It's completely random, doesn't really go out of feather, but let's use it. We've got an arrow, again just because. And this is kind of where my thinking is. I'm just kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to just chuck loads of random die cuts at this, but I really love how it looks. So I've just taken my background paper, and I've just taken my little punch there, and I'm just punched a couple of purple bits out because I wanted some just little bits to make it pop off the background paper, and that's that really nice deep purple. So that's worked really well. I can just tuck that in to a few of the odd little places that it was going to be, just so you've got none of those weird little spaces. So again, just using my quickie glue pen to just write over the back of where the foiling is, and you're not going to be able to see that. And I'm just going to move that arrow so I can stick that down. Again, still pulling out other die cuts there. So I'm just sticking it down. I'm going to overlap that slightly with the photo. Not quite sure what I'm doing right now. Oh, finding my date stamp, there we go. So I'm just stamping there at the top. I did think possibly I might do a tiny little bit of journaling on the side of that page, but I don't know. I found that fox from the Cedar Lane, and I thought, hey, as I'm going with a whole bunch of random, let's put a fox on here as well. That's just kind of how my thinking was at that time. So yeah, I'm also going to use one of the flower die cuts from that Cedar Lane collection pack. Again, the colours work absolutely brilliantly. You'd kind of think they were from the same collection really. So I'm just going to stick that little fox down there as well. And then I want to add a little subtitle, so I'm going to take these alphas from Simple Stories. Sorry, I had a mind blank then. I'm going to stick those down there. Trying to decide what colour to go for. I'm just going to stick those down and then stick them over the bottom of my photo. So the title says Smile, and I'm going to put and keep going, because that's what my title is going to be. So I'm just playing around getting them on there, and then I'm just going to use the ampersand. And I like how that looks. I did contemplate about putting the date there as well, but they were too big. So I am now going to just stick that on this background paper. My ATG had run out at this point, so I'm just going to use my wet glue. And then that is it. So I hope you've enjoyed this page, and I'll be back with another video very soon.